are now listening to an inspirational message from the Greater Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church, where Dr. Michael Wesley Sr. is pastor. Please join the service in progress.
You to be with. And so if you let God do it, He doesn't make mistakes. Sometimes you might have to question levels of intimacy mixed up in their mind. They go out looking for someone who can double the need. And when they find, a person and get married and find out that that person cannot meet their intimacy needs, then people feel like it's a wash. And what happens? People sometimes force action, forcing another person, trying to meet a level of intimacy that only God can meet. The human, at best, can only meet one or some or part of what you need. But only God can bring that ultimate level of satisfaction into one's life. Now and people try to feel that with others. And as a result, now we got something that's loose in our society that's called serial monogamy. Y'all gonna make me preach this morning, man. I'm trying not to. Serial monogamy. What do you mean serial monogamy? 50, 75 years ago, it was considered a shame to mention the word divorce. But fast forward 50 years, 75 years, and people readily lift it up, brag about it. Oh, I've been married 3, 4 times, 5, 6 times. Who's counting? And so what they're doing is they're running from one relationship to another. I'll marry you for a while and see if you hook me up. You don't meet my need. See you. Wouldn't want to be you. Brother, listen, I know them ladies, boy, they carry a red pen. Check. And so it's this myth of thinking that marriage will meet or eradicate your feeling of loneliness and meet all of your intimacy needs. And my sisters and brothers, that's just a myth. That's a lie. Marriage at best, with the right partner selected under the guidance of God, can meet some of those, but not all of those. So next week, come back now, because I'm going to talk about the keys to your selections. Let me quickly go and expose a second myth. Y'all be at 11 o'clock. The second myth is that marriage will heal one's brokenness. Now, I really don't have to talk to this congregation very much about the level of brokenness that exists in this world. I shouldn't have to dig deep or turn over much dirt to help you understand that many people live with the devastation of what has happened as a result of divorced homes, of alcoholism, of physical abuse and verbal abuse that have come from parents, that have come from spouses, that have come from siblings, that have come through. Man, when I was principal of Woodlawn High School, I've shared it before, there was a young girl in my office, and she said, for the first 15 years of my life, I thought my last name was a word that rhymed with witch. She said, because every time my mama called me, she said, witch, come here. And it wasn't witch. Now, you take a kid like that grows up in an environment like that. They live with a lot of brokenness. They have been rejected or neglected or abused in some kind of way. I'm not going to talk about the years when we couldn't talk about the sexual perversions that took place from Uncle John, and I wish somebody would hear me, or from the scoutmaster, or from some other pervert that lived in the community that made predators out of children, and children were forced to cover that up and not discuss that. We can't tell that. We can't discuss that. And as a result, people live with masked or covered up brokenness. And what does a young person do when they live with that kind of brokenness in their heart and they enter into young adulthood at the age where people are marrying and getting married? Because all of these feelings and emotions are in here and they're swirling around, and a person could feel as if they are drowning. And then all of a sudden, here come this 5'4" little tenderoni life preserver. And when that little tenderoni life preserver comes floating by, this boy who has lived with all of this pain reaches out and grabs a hold of that life preserver and clutches it with everything inside of him, because he is hoping against hope that he would not drown and that she would be able to heal his brokenness. And so they get married like young people do. And you can see where this is going. You can already see what happens, because see, what happens to her is she interprets this desperation grip as true love. She doesn't see herself as a life preserver for him. She sees somebody who is holding on to me stronger than any man has ever held on to me before. She is seeing somebody who's dating me more vigorous than anyone has ever attempted to date me before. She is interpreting that as love. Then 6 months after the wedding, one Monday morning, she wakes up. And she gets out of bed, and she shakes herself. And she says, man, give me a break. You have been smothering me, and I need a break. But you know what he hears? He hears another level of rejection. And as a result of this other level of, oh, you gonna leave me? The hell you preach. If you're going to leave, you got to take something with you. I know y'all don't hear me. But the problem, the problem is that somebody, some single person has overestimated what marriage can do. No one, very few people are able to heal someone else's brokenness. May I be brutally honest with you? Listen, I'm preaching this morning because I got sons. And I've been talking to them, and I talk to them all the time. And they are engaged in life. And sometimes they think they hear what they don't hear. And I have the same concerns for you as I do for my own. I don't look at the pastorate as being a professional thing that I do. No, it is a caring stewardship that God gives to me. And you know, over these past 30 years that I've been here, 29 years, I have stood at the altar with hundreds of couples. And I want you to know that it does not feel good. You spend 8 weeks in counseling, and then you stand there on the day of a wedding, and you see people looking in each other's eyes, and you see the starriness in their eyes, and you can almost feel the love emerging from their garments. And then to know that a few months later, they have discovered that instead of Prince Charming, it's Freddy Krueger. And every time a relationship or a dream is dashed, I feel it. It's just the same as when we spend these years working with our youth and they go out into the community and they end up doing something heinous or being arrested or being killed. It breaks the heart because you know that you've had your hand on those, and you would have hoped that some influential process would have elevated them beyond that circumstance. And so it is when I experience through others marriage dashes. Golly, can I have 2 more minutes to at least expose the third one? I ain't through with that one, but I'll go ahead. Because some of you I know not going to be able to go. And so at least I want you to carry this out portable. The third myth that we need to uncover this morning is that marriage will ensure happiness. I can't tell you the number of people who have believed that by walking down the aisle that happiness will automatically come. Walking down the aisle does not lead to transformation. There might be a measure of happiness in the outset of the idea that the day has come and that the dream and hope for have that. Listen, what are you saying, Pastor? Can I say it, Kevin? Is it all right? If you are a greedy, lustful, impatient, single person walking down the aisle, 6 months later, you're going to be a greedy, lustful, impatient married person. And the wedding will not have changed you. Now, again, like I said, I run this morning with the fear that too many single, unmarried people have bought into these myths. We forgot all about God being the gift giver and God being the one who hook up. And so we just feel that I just need to just get married, because if I get married, then I won't be alone anymore and all my intimacy needs will be met. I want to tell you that's not true. I want to tell you that it's a myth to think that because you've been hurt somewhere in life through whatever the circumstances may be, that finding the right mister or finding the right miss is somehow going to minimize that pain. And I don't want to see you walking into a marriage with baggage and then dumping it on the person because they do not have God's ability to heal. And I don't want you to think that being married is going to end your unhappiness or is going to somehow or another produce a level of happiness in you. Now, don't get me wrong. Marriage under God, in the right context, can be a wonderful experience. And there are people who are married and have been for lengths of time that enjoy being married. And it has produced some good results. But, everybody say but you better know that there have been some tremendous sacrifices that have been made by both people. You better know that there have been a lot of deep conversations that have led to a lot of repentance and saying, I'm sorry. There have been a lot of prayers, thousands of prayers, where one has had to petition God and ask God for the ability to allow me to stand even when I don't want to stand no more. You better know that there have been some times when people have had to walk the floor with their hands behind their back, pulling their hair out of their head just to stay there. And if God was not a part of both lives of the man and the woman, I don't care who you are, where you come from, you cannot stay in a situation. If God is not the glue that allows people to stay together, brother, sister, I don't care how fine you are. That doesn't get it. That doesn't get it. So I want you to hear. I want at the start of this series to lay down some principles here and to help us to uncover some of the false notions, the underestimations that many people who walk around unmarried and single looking in at others and thinking how easy this ought to be. You better rethink. You better get your gloves on. You better put your boots on. You better put your knee pads on. Because let me drop it. I'm done. I gotta stop. Gotta stop. Because not only do I need to talk about the myth of marriage, but I really need to talk about the math of marriage. What do you mean, the math of marriage? The math of marriage is this: when you take one sinner and you hook that sinner up with another sinner, You have two sinners under one roof. Now you start having children and you have other little sinnerlings. And you got a mass quadruple situation on the one household. So I need to stop. Sorry, just need to stop. Just want to say to single people that if you are single, don't underestimate your singleness. For in a real sense, you have an advantage over married folk. You have a level of freedom that married people, especially married people with children, have no idea about. And therefore, you can be singularly devoted to God, as the Apostle Paul speaks about in 1 Corinthians chapter 7. And then I want to say to you that if you are single, and it gets frustrating as it will, give it to God. He knows. And not only does he know, he cares. He understands. Look, Adam didn't go around there saying, God, you mistreated me. You put me in this world by myself. Oh, the man enjoyed his relationship with God. And because the man was obedient to the things that God did, God said, now I'm going to bless you with some. Now you got to know. Come on, use your mind. I'm done. But you use your mind. On that day, when Adam woke up, I mean, just woke up and eyes half open and he looked up. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Whoa, man. Hey. Man. Stuff start jumping. And moving. Oh, that's what that's for. I'll just let go and let God. That's what I'm going to have to do. I'm just going to have to let go, what? And let God, because that's as soon as my mind start worrying about it, you know, you can't handle it, my brother. You can't handle it, my sister. You can't handle all of the challenges that come in life. Can I tell you what? I'm done really, but over the next few weeks, I'm going to beat a drum. And you're going to get tired of hearing the drum beat. It might make you sick, but I'm going to tell you something that will safeguard you against this myth and against all these myths. It's going to be called time. Because, brother, sister, that's what you need. You need time. When you're in a courtship, you need time, sufficient time to get to know this person. You're going to need time to see what they're bringing, to see what kind of baggage they have, to see what kind of issues they have, what kind of unfinished issues. You're going to need time to help you to understand whether they're looking for you to be their healer or looking for you to be the life preserver. You're going to need time. That's why you're going to have to let go and let God have his way. Because God knows you. He knows where you are. He knows what he's made you to do. He knows who he wants you to be with. And so if you let God do it, he doesn't make mistakes. Sometimes you might have to question.
God will make a way. I know that
Hello, I'm Dr. Michael Wesley, Senior Pastor of Greater Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church. This is the day that the Lord hath made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Friends, we are under construction here at Greater Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church. God is blessing us to expand our reach. We've been forced to expand our sanctuary. But for 124 years now, Greater Shiloh has been a consistent witness in the Birmingham community, sharing the life-changing power of the gospel of Jesus. Then it was changing the lives of former slaves into Christians. Now it is bringing people out of prison and putting them into mission. It is also taking athletes and turning them into preachers, and taking youth gangs off of the streets and putting them into college. We're taking corporate leaders and developing them into humble servants of Jesus Christ. We need your help. We need your help in this expansion campaign as we continue to reach our Jerusalem by feeding the homeless, clothing the naked, visiting the widows and orphans. We need your help during this 30-day, $35 campaign. We're requesting a one-time donation. You may give the gift of $35 that we suggest, or you may give any gift that God may lay on your heart to give. But we trust that you will go to your phone or go to your computer or whatever way you choose to do it, follow the prompts as they may be, and give according as God has blessed you. We are so delighted to continue to share the gift of love as we continue to give the saving message of Jesus Christ.
Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. You have been listening to a message from the Greater Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church, where we are reaching the world for Christ, located at 2135 Jefferson Avenue Southwest, Birmingham, Alabama 35211. For a copy of a CD or DVD, you can reach us at 205-925-5972 or visit us on the web at www.greatershallow.org. For an uplifting message, please join us for the next broadcast.